Wait. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the one and only Rumboys Fantasy Network. It's your boy, Rumboys Robbie, here with my co-host for this Rum Day night evening here, TDS Taco. What is good? This man said the legend.
Popping, my brother.
You really put the legend underneath your fucking name.
Well, you know what it was? Because I didn't get a chance to change it. It's because last time I had the legend shirt on. So I kind of was like, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna let you live. I'm gonna let you live for the fact that it's a Rum Day night and there is football on. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. You are tuned into the Rumboys Fantasy Network. You know what? Yes, you are correct. There are two legends here on the screen. Especially when you think about the fact that on tonight's stream, we're going to break down a couple of lineups, right? We're going to break down a couple of lineups from our fantasy football drafts. And yeah, see what we got going on. Aiden with the get this scrub off the screen. My gosh.
Yo, remember, Aiden, I'm here on time. So let's get some respect today.
And I am currently trying to get into my NFL Plus, and it is being a pain in the ass. Please deal with me.
I'm trying to get into my IPTV, and so far so good. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I mean, it should be working.
While we're waiting for this to come up, can I just say, the Sugar Show? Wow!
What a fucking What a fight! What a fight!
I didn't even see Aiden's comment before that because just like wow, like first okay, Aljo's from Uniondale. That's like one town over from where I went to high school. I like both of these guys, but I was rooting for Aljo because he's the local guy. Like, you know what I mean? But wow, Sugar, wow, he literally just lined him up and knocked him down. Now, I don't really agree with the stoppage. I think Aljo showed enough wherewithal to stay in it. I think
there's no reason to not agree with that stoppage. Homie got wrecked. Homie got his shit pushed in. It is what it is. There's absolutely no reason to disagree with that stoppage.
I mean, I'm not really arguing it. I'm just saying you could have let it go a little bit longer. I've seen a lot of fights where because he really he had started he was still moving down there. He was positioning himself. It didn't look like he was completely
the only thing that was moving was his head bouncing back and forth like a fucking basketball off the goddamn mat. What are you talking about? Homie was having a freaking seizure, bro. Looked like he was doing a Chris Brown, run it. Like, come on. It's so that being said, okay, bro. It was the first fight that I had gotten wrong, like the first main event fight that I gotten wrong in like 8 months. Like shit happens. Like it happens.
Bro, the Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman hit me twice. After that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna chill for a little bit because it was like, wow.
I am honestly fascinated with the fact that ESPN fucking has the rights to a Monday night preseason game.
Holy shit! Terry McLaurin just came off the field grimacing in pain. Headed to the locker room and is getting checked out. Hold on, let me pull it up.
All right.
What happened though?
Hold on. Let me check that update. So wait.
I'm sorry, I was watching a clip of the new Commanders owner. He was in the booth with Joe Buck and whatchamacallit, Aikman, and Joe Buck is talking with his hands, and it looked like he was putting his hand out, and the dude just shook his hand. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
I don't get what was funny about what was okay. Anyways, Aiden saying, "Hey, my boy Hal looks good." Yeah, Hal looks pretty good. Hal looks pretty damn decent. I'm excited about that. Yo, now that I can pull some chats up, no echo, right? We're good.
No echo.
Cool. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Run Boys and Girls. What to do? Dilly. New computer, new streaming setup. Mike is back. Like, we're in there like swimwear. We are in there like swimwear.
All I'm saying is I need a rematch of that Aljo Sugar instead of, again, Sugar knows what time it is. Sugar know he caught him perfect. Like, it was the perfect catch. Like,
it was
Aljo went in, he couldn't reach, and then Sugar used that long extension and put him out. And then once he was down, he just couldn't recover. It's not like the shot put him out, but the shot put him in a horrible position.
I mean, it was one of those things that even when it happened, like when it happened, you could see it on Sugar's face that it was like, oh fuck. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead now, really quick. Let's really get into the live stream chat. Pros with Joe's link is down below. We are over $200. Big ups to everyone that has been throwing out the donations. We got $100 dono in that one. We got $100 dono. What's gonna be? Stop your hands from typing. Type, yeah. Feel free to type your lineup out. We can go ahead and we can answer some questions.
I can't wait for
while we do this. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna look at some of these at some of these leagues that we've been in, some of these leagues that we are in.
Actually, Robbie, the first one we should look at should be Polly's, because you're actually up for your pick.
Yeah, I'm up right now. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna head into the draft room, and we're just gonna take a look at a couple of things here, just for the sake of doing whatever we want to do. I mean, am I right? Like realistically, at this point in my career as a fantasy football analyst, who is going to stop me? So let's see. Yeah, we're gonna take a look here at Polly's playoff. This league for Alzheimer's awareness. This is a mix of analysts and both, like fans. You see, we're on the clock right there as you take a look. We got some familiar faces in here. The homie Geek Millie up in there. Big ups to the homie Geek Millie, the homie Jeff. You guys may recognize this name right here. CBS.
We don't see the screen. Are you sharing?
Oh shit. Hang on. My bad.
Oh, good, brother. You're getting back into the game.
No, I don't want picture in picture.
I don't know where the fuck my ESPN is at.
Nope, we're not going to do picture in picture. Is it only going to let me do it that way?
What do you mean? With us on the side, or we solo screen?
Can you see the screen?
Nope.
Damn it. There we go. So yeah, as you guys can take a look, see here, I'm on the clock. I've been picking from the 10th spot. We have some familiar names: the homie Geek Millie, the homie Jeff, the homie Fantasy Dunes Chains. Gotta love fucking Dunes. Great dude. And obviously, you guys definitely recognize this man right here, CBS Heath. That's right. Heath Cummings from CBS is up in this thing as well. So kind of just to review my team, since I am on the clock, we're going to make a pick live for you guys. I chose to do something different in this league. What's great about being in so many different leagues is that you get to really try a bunch of different. You get to try a bunch of different strategies. This one, instead of normally going with my quarterback type of back-to-back deal, picking from the 10, I felt like, okay, I'm gonna be able to get my lick back on that turnaround, and especially with having the this one did not have a third round reversal. This one was a little bit weird in that regard. Went Justin Fields, my first pick, Stephon Diggs, Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, Miles Sanders, DJ Moore, Jahan Dotson, Dalvin Cook, Pat Freiermuth. If one of the things that you can really, really take a look at here that I really tried to accomplish was making sure that I got these stacks with these first two. What was supposed to happen was we were supposed to get Jahan with Sam Howell. I was expecting that Sam Howell was going to come back around. But when you do what Jeezy did here, you kind of wait for that late quarterback. Getting guys like Pickett, Howell, Ritter, definitely not bad picks when you kind of abide by that strategy. He was bound to grab Howell there.
And to be fully honest with you, if Howell would have came at that point, he definitely would have been on my radar and probably more than likely picked, since I have Stroud in another league.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things you kind of find yourself having to do there. With us already having a tight end in Freiermuth, I don't feel the need that we need to go here and grab another one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 receivers. I think it's time that we grab another one. I just think kind of grabbing those guys right now. I'm not wanting to grab Rashad Penny or anything like that. When I look here into these running backs, Jamal Williams doesn't fascinate me, or at this pick at this point. I feel like he could probably be back there on the turn. I almost want to go and get me a veteran here in Thielen.
You got Jamal Williams, baby. Big Jamal. Goal line Jamal.
I'm not caring about grabbing the extra running back right now. In my queue, I have a shit ton of receivers. I have a ton of receivers. Let's look at the quarterbacks here.
Terry,
yeah, that quarterback situation, that third QB situation really dried up, especially once guys like Young and such went.
I was really worried about that because, I mean, if you look at me, I took Herbert with my first pick, but I didn't take another quarterback until like my 8th pick with Stafford because I was kind of playing that board. Kind of like you wanted to get your lick back. I was sitting there. I was like, yo, I can have a whole feast before I get my next guy because I kind of felt comfortable with that range of guys. I wanted to get Love, but that run started right before me.
I feel like I have to reach for my QB here. Just in case, because anyone else is gonna reach as well. I think that also helps, push at least a couple of these guys I have in my queue down a little bit to where I can get one of them back. I don't think that Mac Jones stays in for the Patriots this whole season, bro. Like, what the fuck do you think? I was
worried about that too.
I'm more secure in Tannehill being able to like keep his job the whole season, and then even being able to come back later on and get Levis or Willis off the waiver wire later in the season. I have much more confidence in a veteran than McCorkle.
And I'll piggyback it with this, because these were debates that I had when I took A-Chain. I was like, do I take A-Chain? Do I try to maybe think about a quarterback? Nah, I took all these quarterbacks early. Nobody's even considerable. But like Tannehill, they signed Hopkins. Like they're gonna give him run. You're gonna have a shot at, like you said, one of the backups if it comes down to it. That's an offense that, even though they weren't the best, they would put up points. You're hoping that Hopkins can give them some of that AJB magic. I'm not saying he's AJB, but another elite receiver to add into the mix. Hopefully helps Tanny.
Yo, to the chat. It's a brand new laptop. We are probably going to get into some gaming streams with this laptop because it is a gaming laptop. So I am shopping for a new controller. Just saying.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I'm honestly probably going to do Run Boys Gaming on Twitch only.
Oh shit. Ah man, listen, I'm not a Twitch guy. That shit is so fucking hard to be like organic.
But I can have my OBS and everything over there. Like I can hook it up. Like it'll be dope. I can get back into having my OBS.
OBS is fun.
But yeah, no, like I'm just getting used to the new controls. Let's take a look at Aiden's team, and then we'll get into kind of breaking down some of the rest of the guys' team here in the Paulies playoff. Let's answer his question here. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen.
Wow.
And, wow. So it's a 16-man PPR Superflex. Allen, Fields, Javonte, Charbonnet, Keenan Allen, Judy, Komet, JSN, Brandon Cooks. Bench, he has Tank, Van Jefferson, Zamir White, MVS, Rasheed. Honestly,
that's Brandon Cooks or James Cooks. Or is it James Cook? So no, never mind.
It's Brandon Cooks because all those are all those are receivers right there.
Yep.
So no, honestly, like I already told you, Aiden, for a 16 team, like this is a come up, bro. Like this lineup can really do some shit. And a 16 team is really it's more of a battle of attrition than anything than like 12 team. What's up?
To be honest, when you look at it, like it's a PPR league. You're heavy at PPR to start. You got Allen, you got Judy, you got JSN, you got Cooks. So you're deep at your pass catchers. You have Chardonnay, who's going to be the pass catcher over there with the with the Seahawks. So I mean, I like it from that perspective. I like the idea that you have two rushing quarterbacks on top of that, in Allen and Fields. With Zamir, while we hear that Jacobs is coming back, we don't know how he's going to come back. He's coming back short off this thing. Zamir might get some more run, or Jacobs might be more susceptible to an injury as not playing as much. That's easy to get a hammy, easy to pull a muscle, tweak something as you coming back to game action as you really weren't ready yet. That might open up the door for a Zamir early. I'm still taking Zamir early in some leagues. I like Tank and I like Van. Raish. I mean, it's a deep team that should be able to compete. You're gonna have to definitely monitor the waiver wire for running backs, because you can never.
It's a 16 team league. Like let's face it. Let's face it. Like when you're playing in basically that type of format, there is practically no waiver wire. You've entered in pretty much the Scott Fishbowl-esque type of things, which we'll be able to look at that league a little bit later. But that could, because it becomes so barren, at that point.
Where you start, what we start doing is we start. It's like chess. You start playing 3 moves ahead. You're like, all right, who's the backup? Okay, this running back in this situation. You know what I mean? Like the one guy that you target who definitely gets drafted, probably, but maybe not the guy that's drafted. Okay, Ty Chandler's drafted, but the guy that's right behind Ty Chandler, McBride or whatever, he has an outside shot by the end of the year to end up with the role. That's the kind of guy that's going to be on the waiver wire that you're maybe going to get a pickup. So that's what it comes down to. But I like the idea of Tanks Bigsby because he's by the end of the year should be ramping up. Same thing with Javonte. If you can hold off early, you'll be good. Any trade ideas I have would probably be for a tight end. But you probably want to see what Komet does first because he's a stack with Fields.
With the team that he has in a 16-team format, just going well. And Sean, I'm gonna come back to your question, but just with that team, you're really, really, like I said, you just have to wait and see until guys get on the field. You have a good squad, a damn good squad.
Yeah. Off projections, it's a winner.
Don't make any trade moves right now unless you're doing something that where like you're getting, if you're getting something that where you're completing stacks. So like if you gave away something that landed you a Stephon Diggs or landed you a DJ Moore, okay, well then make that trade before the season kicks off, so that way you already have that.
But I would say since he has the Komet stack with Fields and the value he has at wide receiver, I kind of don't even like that move because you're gonna give him value for no reason.
I love how like right when we just like slightly, even for like a fucking half of a heartbeat, like a half of a second, talked about Tank Bigsby tighten up and Pond's playoff takes him.
I know. I can't believe that. It's crazy.
What about Jameson Williams? Have enough depth there for 6 weeks. I wouldn't take a Jameson Williams just only having 4 receivers so far on that roster. My 5th guy has to be a guy that, you know, when bye weeks come around, I'm sliding him in there. My 5th receiver that I'm pulling in a draft isn't going to be a guy that's missing any fucking games for me whatsoever.
I'll tell you this. He has to fall really far for me to start considering him when you think about where he's at now. Like right now, he still had a solid value where he's like what, top 13 rounds in best ball leagues, and in some of these leagues, he's still, you know, floating halfway. I don't think he's gone yet, but has he gone? I wonder where he went in our league. He's still on there. He has an ADP of 124. Clearly, that's starting to go back up.
Who, Jameson Williams?
Yeah. Personally, I think that there's
I'm not grabbing Jameson Williams.
Like when you look at Jameson Williams, you could look at, you know, guys like even Thielen.
I'll trade for him.
Have more value.
I'll trade for him in the middle of the season if I get a wild hair at my ass. If I get on Rum Boys After Dark, have one too many shots because the chat starts going crazy because we're doing in-season content, then yeah, like, okay, maybe possibly you can maybe convince me to then trade for Jameson Williams. But even still, just he played one preseason game and they were like, we're sitting you down. Like they didn't even I think that the Lions, with some of his behavior issues and such, are kind of just at a point with him to where it's like, yo, like you're not. I think that they know that they have enough depth at wide receiver and enough talent at wide receiver, and they can scout receiver good enough to where Williams is kind of replaceable.
See, like a lot of other analysts are bringing up like the wide receivers after, you know, St. Brown is you're talking about Marvin Jones. You know, it's a bit tricky, but what they are going to do, which is going to talk up another guy for the Lions, another 2 guys, is going to be one, Gibbs. Gibbs is going to be used as a receiver more than I think people think, which is also going to elevate David Montgomery's ability to get rushing attempts, because you might see a 2 running back formation where maybe Gibbs is in the slot, especially early when before Williams comes back. And we've already seen them do this in camp. We've already seen them talk about doing this. They're pretty clear about it. This kid is more than likely going to be playing some wide receiver, and you might have Montgomery in the backfield, and that might give Montgomery more value than we're thinking about, and give Gibbs the value that we're drafting him at.
It's the Lions offense underneath Dan Campbell. We know they're going to go out there and fucking bite kneecaps at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I expect it to be exciting. Hold on, let's get into Geek Mill's comment here. I'm trying to find my way through this draft. Middle position has been tough. I mean, you're drafted from the 6 hole in this type of format in this league where some of the settings are a little bit different. You're not getting that tight end premium.
And Geek, you're drafting right before me, so like it's gonna be a little bit tougher because I'm pretty sure we got the same guys. I know we both were looking at Chardonnay at that spot. Like, yes, please.
I can definitely see where there's drastically different styles, kind of like between the 2. I like that that you were the only one, Jeff, that went, you know, going to that Christian McCaffrey. You chose in that first round. You know, I'm gonna go running back early. I don't mind pairing it up with Aaron Jones. I feel like if you're going to take that start, you should have just, you know, after grabbing Kirk Cousins, you should just kept going like kept hoarding running backs.
If he doesn't take Aaron Jones there, though, that's probably a guy that I take, and I hope that I get Judy on the comeback.
You just love Judy way too damn much.
I do, bro. I'm a Judy fiend. I'm not gonna lie. I've been on it early.
For someone that doesn't provide enough ROI for that type of fandom, that's really fucking weird.
What do you mean? When I look at his in the 5th round, I think he's going to be a possible wide receiver 1. When we look at the way he ended the season, when we look at what's going on with Russell Wilson, when you add Sean Payton in there, I think this is a recipe.
I think he'll be a wide receiver 1 for week 1.
That's about it, really.
Not even week 1, 1 week.
Nah. Come on.
This is Jerry. Everything on my body fucking hurts. Judy that you're talking about, bro.
Aiden, I love that.
I
love it.
I think that you know with your quarterbacks, you got you know some mid tier QBs. Wish there would have been some stacks here. You love the hyphenated names, clearly. Get it? Because JSN and
quick update. Commander said Terry McLaurin has a toe injury and will not return to tonight's game.
He'll be fine. But that is relieving to hear that it's just a toe. I love this pick here of Evan Ingram just because Jacksonville knows that it has to be creative in order to score. Jacksonville knows that they have to throw exotic looks out there to score. Jacksonville's not going to be bland. And in order to do that, a lot of usage, you know, kind of what Taco was talking about, you know, with the backfield of, you know, the exchange between Etienne and Bigsby, you know, mixing in a lot of middle of the field passing with a la Evan Ingram, so on and so forth. I like this. It's just, I don't like running it naked. Like everyone out here having to be thrown out there. You need to get Michael Mayer. You need to get something. Get that 2x coin. Get some KJ Osborne later. Get like a little late KJ. You know.
Sometimes it's hard, bro. Like
it's definitely hard. The middle, the middle is tough. A lot of my middle drafts I don't like.
I wanted Keenan Allen, but I was looking at Keenan Allen or Ridley, and I was like stack or guy that I think is going to be like a possible like breakout, and that's why I took Ridley there. I wanted to stack. That was the perfect place for me to stack. That was my shot to stack. And then I just saw Ridley and I said, and if I stacked, that would have been better because that would have saved me from having 3 week 9 buys. But Ridley, I do think from everything I've seen from training camp, from his past, from what Lawrence can do, I'm starting to get on the hype train. I'm starting to get on the Ridley hype train again. Ridley could be wide receiver 1. Not 1 overall, but a wide receiver 1.
Ridley on that team being the one.
I think it's unquestionable.
So many mouths to fill. They're just. It's definitely a realm of possibilities, and that's why you need to have some really exposure. We'll get into a league shortly to where I have a Lawrence Ridley stack, just because of that exact same reason that you just mentioned. Here, I want to kind of get into breaking down some of these rosters really quick here, and just take a look at some things. Talk. I'll kind of let you go in and talk about yours first, just because, like, sure. I mean, we kind of went into it a little bit, so we don't have to go too heavy because I want to get into some of these other ones.
Yeah. For me, I mean, basically, what I was looking at is this a tiered PPR setup. So some of the deeper passes and longer plays get more points. So with that said, I was trying to get wide receivers that I know can make big plays and that will have consistent workloads. So when I got Herbert there, I was ecstatic. I didn't really want to go quarterback. I probably wanted to go Chase. I probably was like maybe Kelsey, but I really wanted Herbert. I was not taking Burrow at all. That Herbert pick set me up down the road. At the point where Prescott came off, I was like, St. Brown to me was the best player on the board. I think he's going to be better than A.J. Brown because I think Smith is going to push up. Waddle was an interesting pick. I think at that point, that was when if I wanted a second quarterback, I knew I had to make that decision right there. It was either Waddle or quarterback. And in my eyes, Waddle with the tiered PPR can score on the same level or close to the same level of some of these quarterbacks that aren't foolproof where they can bust. So I felt Waddle was more secure. And then I could get some of these back end quarterbacks a little bit later on. So that's how I came into that situation. For Judy, I was looking for a running back kind of there. I wanted a running back there because I thought I would be able to get a wide receiver on the way back. But with Miles Sanders having that groin and Dameon Pierce, I'm just not 100% sold on the offense. I said I had no choice. I had to take Judy because I think his upside's too big. I'm a little worried about J.K. Dobbins this season with everything going on and him never being healthy. I think that's a bit crazy. But right now, I think my team is starting to balance out. I'm going to play off some of these bye weeks. I want to go into each week starting 6 wide receivers, and I want wide receivers on the bench that I could sub in a tiered PPR setups. I know that the running backs are a little bit safer, but why are we going to go safe if we got some of the top end talent that we know is guaranteed more target share to really secure us in most weeks, and then kind of follow that up with some breakout guys later on. So that's kind of just how I started and how I'm strategizing in this type of a super flex tiered PPR league.
Okay. Let's see here. So I want to kind of we'll work, from the 1 all the way down. This is just an obvious 101 pick. And this is probably going to be like a hot take. But what if you're the 101, what if you're just making this pick just because you're like, oh, well, that's that has to be the 101. Like, that has to be who I pick. What I'll say about this is that there's nothing that says that you absolutely have to get Patrick Mahomes. I could very well see a lot of people that go overboard with this. It coming back to bite them in the ass if they're not locking in other Kansas City pieces. But then again, Patrick Mahomes' naked is so good, is so fucking good that it almost doesn't matter. I just feel like from the analytical standpoint, from the math standpoint of things, yes, obviously the stack helps, but everything else, when you go and this is that's your 101, that's your QB1. Yes, he's so high powered that he could carry your whole fucking team, but everybody else needs to fucking do their jobs as well. The fact that this man was able to get Nick Chubb here, just insane. I get, the whole like 3rd round reversal thing.
No, there was no 3rd round reversal.
Wait, or no third. Yeah, no, there was none. Just the fact that this was left here.
I think that's crazy. But with the super flex being the way it is, it does make a little bit of sense. I mean, listen, I don't want to jump the gun and talk about other teams here, but I think there were some surprising moves made that allowed Chubb to fall. I think it's interesting that he went with 4 running backs so high up in the tight end. I think that's an interesting way to play it. Especially since you have to start 3 wide receivers. The one thing about the Mahomes pick I like here is that it's -3 on the interceptions, and for the most part, Mahomes is pretty good with his So like, to me in this scenario, I understand he's the 101. You can't overthink it. After that, you can maybe open it up to how much do you trust Allen and Hurts. Allen right now, I'm starting to waffle on a little bit. Like, I'm not saying he's not an elite. I'm not saying that he's not top 3. I'm just saying I don't know if with a draft capital I have to expend on him that I'd want to expend it, knowing the quarterbacks later down the road. Seeing that I think that he's starting to show some chinks in the armor. At the end of last season, you see his efficiency started going down, and you're paying a premium price for him. So if he doesn't hit, you're fucked.
I think that you're fine on Josh Allen. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're not fine, but I'm just starting to shy away a little bit.
Deep Bill saying, Robbie, I appreciate you for the draft breakdown, my dude. If I could do it again, I would have made a run at running back for the Ingram pick and maybe tried to get Freiermuth later. It would have not have been bad. It would have not have been bad, especially with there not being a premium for the tight end position in this league. Believe me, dude. I mean, I was fucking forced to grab my third quarterback there. Just the way that this league is shaked out. This one has been super interesting. Drop the mic, FF and Polly's. I had 101, and my first and third are same.
Really? This Chubb and Mahomes thing, god damn.
See, just having those two already, it's well, damn. Like, I mean, it's fantasy football. You never know what can happen. It's the NFL. None of us know what can happen. But just when you see those two on the same lineup, I don't give a damn what format it is. It's like, damn, bro, like you're collecting Infinity Stones. You're collecting Infinity Stones.
Now, here's the question: with a start like that, I think the Taylor pick is a little risky. Mm-hmm. I think if I'm in that position with that start, I don't risk it on Taylor.
I think I
already got Mahomes and I already got Chubb.
I think I go receiver there instead of Taylor.
Yeah.
Let's see. This Josh Allen, Barkley, Smith here, the Dunes. I like this team. I kind of like this team. So it's heavy on the Philly with the Devontae Goddard, but I think that with the way that the ball is distributed in Philadelphia, both of those are profitable picks. I think that whole offense is going to be profitable.
I know you got one of your favorite wide receivers on this team.
Who? Fuck you.
Say goodbye.
Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to Hollywood.
Hollywood Brown definitely not one of my favorite interviews. One of my favorite receivers that and there goes Kendra Miller. And
can Everett. I say though, I love that Matt Harmon had just put a little perception on my buddy, because I do think it's going to be an interesting year for him.
And it had some dog shit routes. Like there's other receivers with better reception perception that you can.
Hey, listen, we're not saying is he the best. We're saying in the 8th round of a league like this, for a guy that's going to have a negative game script, I like it. I like the value.
What I'll say about Hollywood Brown is that he has to end up on someone's team. I got Mahomes, Amon-Ra, Chubb to start. Oh, that's amazing. That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
You scared me.
I actually agree with Taco. Oh,
thank you.
Not best ball. Just we balance. Judy's the new slant boy. Oh my gosh,
I love it. Let's go.
Heath Cummings lineup. This is very much a Heath lineup.
So I'm not familiar with drafting with Heath. Obviously, we all know Heath, but
okay, there's Kyle Pitts on his team.
We do, but
this is a Heath Cummings lineup.
And listen, I get you got to go get your guy, but that Richardson pick at 10, that one. I mean, I get it. That you're putting faith in this kid. That's a lot of faith in this kid. That's all I'm saying.
It's Anthony Richardson and just the Indianapolis Colts are a conundrum, especially when we talk about everything that went on with Jonathan Taylor today. Jonathan Taylor being granted the ability to trade. We already know how shit like this works out and how these this kind of
know the owner. Out. He floated. He did the whale just to screw him in his face.
Bro,
he might say go look for a deal and then just make the price so high.
And that's what I'm saying. That look, when your owner's creating locker room drama,
Yeah.
and you ain't even the ones featured on Hard Knocks. You're not even the ones that need to be having the must see TV drama. When your owner's making must see TV drama, it goes to the rest of the team and it spreads throughout the rest of the team. This worries me, and how this can possibly affect the rest of the Indianapolis Colts. It makes me worried. I mean, even if Taylor is to return, how sour of a taste is that in your mouth that your owner just really just did that just to prove a point, just to be like, you know what, fuck you. And there's not really a fuck you that you get to dish back, because the market is the market.
And you know what the problem with that is? Like, with all the drama being there, you literally are now a part of it. You are you are in the everyday having to see, did something crazy come out here or what's going on. So really throughout the season, and as we get into the real drafts, so that we all have our season-long managed redraft monies, Taylor's going to be an interesting prospect.
Irsay was definitely coked up when he did that this morning.
The whale shit or the bro, you can go find some. He like
the putting him on the block, putting him on the trade block, bro. Like, bro, you were under the influence, bro. Like you just put your pride aside and just admit that this man is a solid piece of your team, at least for right now, at least until the fucking rookie contract expires and runs out. You know, no, you want to be hard-headed and you want to pull the whole, well, you know what, if I'm neither here or you're not here, then what the fuck does it matter type of game. It matters to your fans. It matters to your city. It matters to the people that are sitting back in Indianapolis, Indiana, that are begging for a freaking Super Bowl, and you cannot provide it for them because you have a pride issue, Irsay. Get off the cocaine. My favorite type of weed was cocaine. Get off the freaking nose beers, bro, and fucking manage your team the right way, because this isn't it. And that's my soapbox on the situation.
I mean, at the end of the day, as we've seen on this show and many shows, the running backs don't have value. So, you know, I love that you're not going to give him a contract. You're going to devalue him in contracts. But when it comes to a trade, you want CMC value. You want a second, you want a first, you want 4 picks, or you want a first, you want top end value for him in the trade market. But meanwhile, you will not sign him to that contract. You will not give him his money. So you're saying he's worth it, but you're saying I won't give it to you. Is that not the biggest fuck you've ever seen? You're worth your money. We want as much as we can get for you, but we will not pay you. Like,
it's essentially a fuck you. Mike says his polys has C-Yard, Gator, and Pinto. I think Pinto followed me from like his like new account the other day or some shit. Well, I hope that he's doing well. Big ups to C-Yard, big ups to Gator. Yeah, and Gator was actually telling me that all of y'all are in the league together. That's dope as fuck. Y'all got paired together. Eckler had ability to seek trade too. I don't know if he actually leaves. I don't think that Eckler leaves.
I mean, look at Eckler. He's craving the limelight. He just did that new show that he's going to be on Yahoo with. This man is trying to build a brand, and he's in LA. He's just trying to use that for contract.
He ain't leaving.
Negotiations, leverage.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like this is a Heath lineup. Don't be surprised if this lineup it. This is what I mean when kind of going back to the whole like Mahomes take that I was saying. Don't be surprised as wonky as some of it may look. Like, it's like, wow, like how did you end up with these guys? Well, like, I mean, him grabbing Anthony Richardson early allowed the ability for ADP for certain guys to be able to be pushed down. And that's something that he knows. Don't be surprised if a lineup like this can go out there and really, really do some damage. And I don't like the Kyler Murray pick, but that's because it's Arizona. And I don't see Arizona.
I mean that late. I mean, although he took him before Young, Ritter. I mean, but that late is really not many options. That's why I felt like I had to take Stroud there.
If Kyler even comes back if Kyler even comes back a slither of himself, yeah, and can and if he can be accurate, like let's face it, we knew that fucking what was their coach's name? The Link or not Lincoln Riley. God damn it, home with the big ass penthouse. We knew that air raid offense shit wasn't gonna work.
The coach.
Yeah, the fucking coach, Cliff Kingsbury. Kingsbury. Yeah, we knew that shit wasn't gonna work. Yeah, dope ass house. We already talked about Jeezy's. Really love kind of what he was doing there. If you're going with the late round QB kind of build, I love that. I love all three that he got. Let's see here. Sawyer's is going with the whole wide receiver 2 theory. There's a whole lot of wide receiver 2 theory baked into this. I mean, of course, with the exception of George Pickens. But I mean,
well, my problem with him is that he's a lot of wide receiver 2 theory. I mean, but yeah, I'm not ready to go off the Stevenson bandwagon. So he is pretty strong at his quarterback, flex, and running back. Brees there, I think it's a wild card. I mean, that's probably where I would have taken my first wide receiver over Brees, all things considered. But he's a wild card, with Cooks there. I personally, how I think you do it is, you let Brees ease his way back in. You don't have to rush him back early, but come the playoff time, he's going to establish himself as the lead back. Cook is only on a 1-year deal. Cook is not going to come back next year. You're doing this just to make sure that while this kid ramps up, you don't have to put too much pressure on him. And come playoffs, if he is who they say he is, it's his backfield. Period.
Yeah. Okay. We talked about Geek Mills. We talked about yours. Huckman's. That Dak pick is just because like the interception, how you were talking about Josh Allen, like the thing is like Josh Allen could throw 12 interceptions in a season, but he can still give me QB2 overall return of investment. Even if I draft him as a QB, even if I take him as two off the board to super flex, and he still provides me at least top 4 numbers, like I'm okay with that. Like Dak, when Dak's interceptions start getting the fucking going, that whole offense and everything else starts like kind of like going downhill. But again, kind of going on what I said, it's going to end up with someone's team.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what the other thing is,
and he stacked him with Cooks, which is beautiful.
Yeah,
and Jake Ferguson can be there for him as a late round flyer too if you want to go with the triple.
I just don't know if I would have paid that draft capital for him. Like if he would have came to me in the 3rd, like if I would have got him like where you got Geno, I feel like that's like the perfect, because you get that first quarterback, you at least get an anchor piece, and then you come back and get a guy like that. But like that would have been only my druthers. But then again, I'm pushing down on quarterbacks lately. But quick updates. I mean, Terry McLaurin has a toe injury, and the X-rays came back negative. And then De'Ami Brown is being evaluated for a concussion.
Playing against the Ravens, and the Ravens hurt people. They don't give a fuck if it's preseason.
Ravens keep on winning these preseason games, right?
Yeah, that's just the weirdest record. This one will be number 25 for them. But yeah, I love. I kind of like what happened here at receivers. I love just grabbing Mark Andrews because that is wide receiver 1 on that Baltimore offense. Pierce, White, Gibson, great picks at running back. I mean, any of those guys
Pierce right before I wanted him to. I was locked and loaded on Pierce right there.
Yeah, I could see you wanting to go Pierce there. I could see that. But yeah, another good lineup. This one, what sticks out to me just at first glance is Jordan Love is QB2. Jordan Love,
because I was going to take him at QB2 too.
You have concussion 2 as your QB1, and then you have someone. Let's face it, is practically going to be a rookie. It's practically a rookie.
I'm not going to lie though. Jordan Love is my QB2 and Tua is my QB1. It's a little scary.
That's what I was saying. That
I would be at least 3 QBs on that team.
Yeah, that team definitely need. I'd be running 3 there.
Yeah.
The running back situation is pretty good. Javante is a. We'll see what happens there in Denver with that.
Can I tell you something? It's weird and scary what's going on with Williams because he's looking good, but is it a good run or is it that he's looking good? That's where the hangups come because he might have a couple of good runs.
Denver.
Yeah.
Instead it's Denver, bro.
I think P. Ryan still might have sneaky value for us.
I think that'll end up being P. Ryan for sure.
Especially passing.
Let's see who the hell is messaging me. Hang on.
I like the Quentin Johnson pick. He was someone that I was looking at. But for me, looking at the quarterbacks that were on the board, I took Stafford. I saw that what some of the guys had. I didn't want to risk it. And to me, after Sam Howell was on the board, off the board, CJ Stroud to me was that next guy. I didn't want to take 5 weeks with Kyler Murray, him coming back with ambiguity. So I would have taken Johnson to give me that stack. Everett, I can't even get that stack. Like literally, like they heard it's like stacking. No, not for you, Taco.
And really quick, drop the mic. I think in the 3 outings, the 3 NFL outings that we've seen, how like his QBR has been immaculate. Like homie's been like putting up like a 104, like fucking like damn near every time.
All right, here's a question for you, Robbie. Is that Commander's offensive line gonna be good enough to give him the time necessary to perform?
I'm gonna say what Troy King said. I'm gonna say what Troy King said tonight on Twitter. Everyone just needs to shut up and give Eric Bieniemy the props that, and I'm not gonna make it about a Rooney Rule thing. I'm not gonna make it but everyone needs to shut up and give Eric Bieniemy his props.
I'm still mad that he was the Jets coach 2 years ago.
For real. If this is any inclination, I'm sorry. If he does this again, Washington doesn't have to get into the playoffs. If he makes Sam Howell just fucking amazing, like just look fucking like, it's like if you can sit back and like after 9-8 and be like, okay, yep, that's our quarterback. Yeah, no, Sam Bieniemy is he has to be a head coach. He needs to be a head coach. Like
I think that it's very wrong that he hasn't had that shot yet. But the league, I mean, let's face it, there's like not many minorities that have positions of power. It's a bit weird. And again, we're not trying to get
too deep into that.
Political, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like Troy said on Twitter. This is what we're witnessing is Eric Bieniemy and Eric Bieniemy at his finest. And then also, kind of what Mike said here with Sam Howell, you're not necessarily needing a great line just because he's going to be able to move. He's going to be able to move.
You know what's crazy to me though? It's like Bieniemy was with Mahomes, and everyone knows that he had yes, Andy Reid is a coaching god, okay? But this is his offensive coordinator, his biggest disciple, with the guy that they took who wasn't even a clear-cut number 1 pick and molded him into one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen play the game, okay? He did great things with Alex Smith, and you don't even give him a shot? You give the guy from the Vikings a shot before him? You give all these other guys shots before him? Come on now. Well, I'm sorry. It's a bit ridiculous.
Dotson's value will rise this weekend. Are you saying that? Are you saying that because of Dotson? Or are you saying that because of the toe injury? Because the toe came back negative. Terry will be fine. Season's a couple of weeks away. Not worrying about that. Now Dotson's value has steadily been rising already. Yes, Alex Smith was Matt Nagy, and that's how Nagy ended up with the Chicago position. But Or no. Did Nagy go after he got fired?
The final year though, wasn't
No,
it?
no, no.
Like, wasn't
Yeah,
Nagy with
yeah. Nagy
Chicago
was
in
with
like that final
Mahomes.
year?
Yeah, Nagy was with or no, Nagy was with Alex Smith. Then went to Chicago. Then yada yada yada. Yeah. Anyways, Dotson, because Dotson's performance, in my opinion, says drop the mic. Yes, Dotson. The way that Dotson's been showing up and showing out has been absolutely phenomenal. Let's see here. We'll just break down these.
Dotson though is getting a solid drum beat. I think I saw Field Yates talking about him today too. He's getting a solid drum beat across the industry. I feel like so he's someone in your drafts. If you haven't drafted yet, especially I know for your money managed leagues, keep an eye on him. He might fall in some leagues where they don't have electronic drafting. Like he's the guy in like
who the fuck isn't drafting electronically, Taco?
You know, live draft, bro, with the stickers and shit.
Yeah, we still put the stickers up, but like,
how the fuck are you electronic? Everybody got to cross out their own board. You print out a sheet and you cross out your own shit.
No, you still have your phone. You it's like yo, go put your sticker up and then walk over to your phone and lock that in because I'm not staying up after I'm drunk all day and putting in your picks for you.
Our commissions do that for us, bro. I'm in bougie leagues, bro. Our commissions do that for us. We just put up stickers on the board, bro. I'm gonna send you some pictures. Son. We got one is a 14-team league. We both got one is catered, the other one our boys cooking shit. Like it gets lit. We get lit.
Yeah, no, we have a draft board and shit, but it's like no, still go through and put in your team. Like,
see, yeah, when we do it offline, we do it with stickers. There's a lot of offline drafters. That's what I'm saying. In those drafts, I feel like this guy might be a guy that people might forget about on the list, especially depending on which list they're going off of.
Okay,
offline drafting, bro, it's a thing.
Okay. If you're going out and you're forgetting about Jahan Dotson,
not forgetting, but like the values, some like in what I'm seeing here on Sleeper, like the underdog values are way higher on some players than they are on Sleeper. Like in Sleeper, I'm seeing some guys and like, how the fuck is this guy so down? So it's the same thing with ESPN and Yahoo sometimes.
Yeah,
it's like different. So it depends on which draft list you post out.
Offline drafts, Taco dot list. No, I know what he's saying, but yeah. Last Saturday, fried up catfish, nice. I have mine this Sunday. I have two back-to-back Sundays.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing for the one that's Labor Day weekend. I know for the Colorado Springs Invitational, that shit's about to be fucking insane. Like that shit's gonna be crazy. We have so much food, so much food. But yeah, crazy. Tighten Up's team. I don't the quarterbacks worry me, but I loved what he was able to do with getting Purdy and Kittle. You're just worrying about Kittle staying healthy there. Mike Thomas, I think that Mike Thomas, if fully back healthy, people need to look out. Debo, Drake London, great at receiver. Chase Cup, great at receiver. Derrick Henry, gotta love that. A little bit of Alexander Madison could be, a solid enough play there as RB2, just because if he could get the workload out the initial weeks before, some of those other backs rear their ugly head into things, he could maybe, put up enough points to win you a couple of matchups before he proceeds to get banged up. Then Tank's Bigsby. I'm assuming that he's got to go running back again there just to be able to have depth at that position. I would not be feeling safe with just three right then and there.
So I guess you're going running back with your next pick, huh?
Highly likely. It's either running back or receiver. I feel like I can take some late stabs at running back and be okay. That if you were to ask me, pick one of the lesser two evils in 2023, give me receivers. Let me be stacked at receivers.
And to me, here's the difference too. This is still when you think about it, in most cases, like starter range or like first bench kind of guy who's covering for all the bye weeks and stuff like that. So he's virtually like a starter because he's in for like most of your season. or a guy that you really think is going to blow up kind of guy. So I definitely agree with you.
And I'm confident in the three backs that I have in Sanders, Swift, and Cook. Like I'm confident.
I saw that Sanders' groin injury wasn't as bad as they're saying. The
Yeah.
Eagles situation is really interesting. That's why I took A-Chain over Penny. Penny was still there. Penny is still there. Like, you know what I mean? I looked at him and it's a very interesting and tricky situation over there. Offline drafts, baby. That's what I do my best.
12-team league, had to pick 3. Took Chase, Olave, Ridley, Kittle first 3. That I like that. I like that.
Like I'm iffy on Kittle, but that first 3 is like, oh
my
that
first
God.
3, yeah. That first 3, I'm in love with Kittle.
That's
I don't think
right there. It's talking about 3 wide receiver ones possibly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I love that. My running back room is Connor, Akers, Herbert, P. Ryan, and Harris. I like that. I'm sure you probably grab Harris before P. Ryan, but I love that.
Herbert is really like he's some guy that I'm now really starting to target more after we've seen the way some of these things have broken down. But I'm also now starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with Johnson late as well. Because of that catching upside, like from what I'm seeing in his current game plan and from what's happened in college and the way things might work out towards the end of the season, I still think that Johnson is going to be an interesting nice little late stash. And they could have independent value between Herbert and Johnson as the season goes on, but it'll be interesting to see how Fields develops and how that game plan goes. Like, are they going to be more ground and pound, or are they going to be a little bit more vertical?
Here, let's look into the staff league.
Dotson at 4. That's ridiculous.
Let's look into the staff league.
It has the same scoring as this league, which I like. Single QB,
what?
10-team, full PPR, home league, 1 keeper. Who would you keep? First round, Diggs, Sutton. If I could only keep 1, I'm keeping Pollard. If I can keep 2, I'm keeping Pollard and Brown. Oh, pull up the question. I'll read it while you're doing that. No,
nice.
Yep, there you go. Single QB, 10-team, full PPR, home league, 1 keeper. Who would you keep? Looks like it's basically you have to keep them in the same round. So Diggs in the 1st, Sutton in the 3rd, St. Brown in the 4th, Pollard in the 5th, Stevenson in the 6th. I would say in PPR 10-team, Pollard is probably the highest valued guy because elite running backs like him are hard to find. So I definitely would probably want him in the 5th, followed by probably Brown in the 4th and Stevenson in the 6th. But that's really tough between Brown and Stevenson because I think Stevenson has upside, but definitely Pollard would be my number 1 choice. Not a question. In the 5th round for a first round guy, that's worth it.
I don't. And you have to keep them in their round.
That's the only thing, because if it's just Pollard and Antonio and ASB, not round considered, I'm taking Brown. But because it's round considered, getting that extra round and it being a running back, I take Pollard because that's right where you're probably going to want to take your running backs.
The thing is that you're hoping that you're going to be able. You keep one. Pollard. Okay, so Pollard would be in the 6th. I see what he's saying.
Definitely. Okay, so that's even better. Definitely Pollard in the 6th, without a doubt. I like Brown in the 5th, but a running back that's going to be 3 downs that pass catches with no real competition.
I feel like keeping an Amon or keeping a Diggs is more worth it. You secure the back to secure that.
No way, Diggs. No, I'm not giving my first round pickup. Not when I can get a first rounder at a 6th round price.
He can only keep 1.
Yeah, no, I would take the Pollard 6th rounder because of the value there. He's pass catching. He's goal line. He doesn't have any real threats. I love St. Brown, but you could probably Josh St. Brown back in the first or second round. Pollard at the 6th, keeping that long term. It's PPR, 10 team. Running backs are going to be more of a premium. You're going to be able to get your wide receivers because, as we know, there's a lot of wide receivers.
Fantasy meets reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that you keep Amon-Ra. People aren't going to go out there and try and rush to grab fucking running backs in your fantasy drafts. Like, fantasy meets reality. Running backs aren't.
I mean, I think Pollard outscores out St. Brown. Like, that's straight up. Like, that's beyond. Yes.
Drugs are bad, okay? Drugs are bad, kids.
What?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What? No. I mean, the reason why the wide receivers are going up in most of these drafts is because guys they're playing 3 wide receivers. They want to make sure that they're deep out. But with Pollard, who is going to be touching him? He's going to have an open opportunity for a ton of points.
Stop it.
And get him around later? Yeah.
We already know that Dallas, no matter what, they're going to go buy a running back by committee. They've been doing it. They're
Look how good Pollard did last year, though, when he was playing.
Let's take a look here at the staff league. Yo, Mike's team. Like just that start right there. That start is so nasty. Like the fact that he ends up with Mahomes and Bijan. I mean, we already know the rule of thumb with rookie running backs. If you just kind of start them, like you just straight up, you start them, you fire them away. Like, you know, it's fantasy football rule of thumb. Waddle, DK, then comes back, make sure that he has the stack there with Geno. Christian Watson, I feel like that Mike only ended up with Christian Watson just because, and even the Marquise Brown picks, just because of how late he had to wait.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he ends up with either of those if it's not for being in that draft slot.
I'll be honest, where he got Watson, I like him because personally I have him that tier above. I have him in that class with DJ Moore in London and all those guys. So I think he got great value on Watson there, actually.
What justifies that?
What justifies that when you think about
what justifies Watson being in that tier?
To me, right now, when I look at the target share that's available on that team, when I look at his position,
what has he done that proves
last year
that dictates that he should be in that tier
of drafting class? I have him at the end of that tier, right after those guys. Yeah, I have him above Godwin. I have him above Ayuk, 100%. I like his situation better. I like his quarterback better. He should be the number 1 wide receiver on this Green Bay team. I don't think that Love is going to be that bad. I think Watson showed a great ability last year to get into the end zone. I think he had a huge stretch last year that everyone remembers.
In a how many game stretch? In what, a 6-game stretch?
Listen.
It was towards the back end of the season.
It got enough to get him consensusly up here.
Aaron Rodgers was his quarterback.
I don't think Jordan Love's going to be that bad. I think Jordan Love is getting
he's not going to be Aaron Rodgers.
He's not Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying he's Aaron Rodgers. But
did you enjoy that Jordan Love fumble the other day?
What happened?
You enjoy that Jordan Love fumble the other day?
Listen, he's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be probably more negative.
Yeah, he's basically a rookie. He's basically a rookie.
Yeah, more negative game scripts than not, and it's going to be a good opportunity for him to essentially play that number 1 position.
I want to make sure in preference that this is not an indictment on Watson. As more so, it's no, like for real, like please have something that can justify him. That's why
he's being drafted in underdog. His ADP right now is by all these guys.
We're not talking about an underdog. An underdog's not running super flex.
Okay. With that point being said, he's drafted how many picks after these guys? 5 picks, 6 picks by Mike. Who knows what he's doing? Like you say many times to me.
Okay, so are you going off of your own take, or now are you reverting to what other people are doing?
I gave you my take. I gave you my take, and you're shitting on me, and I'm sitting there. I'm not
shitting on you. I'm just asking you to be able to justify yourself.
I did justify myself.
That's not you considered you felt that was a compelling enough argument. Okay,
say
I'm
why I
gonna let
like
that
watching
be.
it.
I'm gonna let
Between
that no.
volume, yeah,
You
that volume, negative game scripts, what he's shown in the past, yeah, that's three things that I like about his situation. And when you put him up there, I don't like Godwin's situation as much because that quarterback scares me more than Love. Ayuk, I don't buy into Brock Purdy as much. I think that Love will be better than Brock Purdy. I can come out and say that.
you're fucking some of the shit you say.
And I'll be right. Hollywood Brown.
You just
Remember the name.
you just say things
Say it.
without any whatever. Anyways, obviously McCorkle, I'm not a fan of Mac Jones at all. Cortland Sutton, again, we just kind of go back into like me wanting mile high receivers to stay healthy. That's why you don't see me with any Denver receivers on any lineups anywhere, just because I need to see the mile high city stay healthy. In all honesty, Dalton Schultz, someone has to be tight in there for Houston. We already know that solid hand guy right there. I love this Jalen Warren pick. I love this Juwan Johnson pick. Wilson's a great late round flyer for running back. John Mechie, if he can be something, Then Shakur. Let's see, McBride in Minnesota. That's just definitely, that's just a dart throw. And then Marvin Jones. I like Mike's team. I like Mike's team, and Mike has some pieces to where I think that he could make some trade talks happen. He can make some trade talks happen. Let's see here, Eagle Dan. See, around here is where I feel like about like Anthony Richardson should be falling. Is this fourth round, kind of like beginning of the fifth? I feel like that's whereabouts Anthony Richardson should be falling. Hell, back in third. I feel like yes, how Tua, Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, just all those guys that went before him. I feel like that's how that should be played in regards to Richardson. But I mean, come on, look at this start here: Hurts, Wilson, Nick Chubb, all solid here. It's a shame. I feel like as soon as he went Garrett Wilson, SC Express the homie Jeff knew that I need to make sure that he can't stack that up. He can't have those two on the same team. And I think that's a big piece of why he made Aaron Rodgers QB1. But let's fucking face it. You go these three right out the gate. This ain't a bad QB1 to have. Probably the most stable veteran health-wise. Damn good decision there. Stevenson, Taco being high on Stevenson. I really do think that Zeke has a bigger impact on the Stevenson situation than what many realize and what many want to admit. Of course, Eagle Dan took Goddard because, well, he's a fucking Eagles fan.
The one thing I would say with Stevenson is like there was Harris there last year, and Stevenson plays such a big role in the passing game, especially in PPR leagues.
Harris isn't good at football.
He wasn't, but he had enough of a share that it's not going to be like Stevenson is losing that much work in comparison.
Both will be fine, and Zeke will be more profitable for you than what Harris was last year. Damian Harris was not good at football.
He got hurt a lot too.
No, he just honestly was fucking lazy. He was lazy.
He was out
bro. This man showed up to our interview high as fuck.
Yeah.
Like and then late. And then got drunk later that night. And was the only person that was on this type of level out of all the other players. And literally me and Ty Boogie looked at each other and were like, he ain't going to fit into the Patriot way. And then where is he now? With the Buffalo fucking Bills. Completely different situation. Completely and totally different situation. And we already know that Bill Belichick loves bringing in veteran running backs. and give them that last little bit of burn to really go out there and be something, a la a Corey Dillon. Yeah, I really think that the Zeke being brought into that situation could be more than what we're realizing. James Conner, it's just because he's kind of like the only thing there in Arizona. This receiver run right here, if you're going to go receiver late and you end up with these three, that's just solid. Yeah. I don't think that it's going to be profitable. Excuse me. I don't think it's going to be profitable. I feel like he probably could have.
If one of those two guys could be a wide receiver too, between Evans and Lockett with Wilson, I think he's good. And then if the other's like a wide receiver 3, you know what I mean? He needs at least one of those to be a wide receiver 2, though, because he's solid in some other places.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how that shakes out. P. Ryan,
I still find it crazy how many tight ends ended up coming off the board in this league.
What do you mean?
I mean,
you still have to play a tight end.
I know, but keep going.
I love the P. Ryan pick. Again, with the Jameson Williams pick, it's just kind of, when you go with the late receiver, this is a trap that you'll probably find yourself in. And honestly, this is a headache that excuse me, would much rather let someone else deal with. I love the late, grab on McKinnon, just because hopefully something can happen. I don't see him being on that team very long. On Dan's fantasy team, I could see this being a add drop waiver wire piece type of situation. Baker Mayfield, Trey Lance, we already know how the fuck that working out. It's not working out.
12-18.
And it won't work out. Jake Ferguson, Hayden Hurst, just love those picks there. Wan'Dale Robinson, Tucker, and Turner as late picks. Just super late round flyers. This could be an interesting late round flyer, how that turns out. Raj did Raj things. Raj was just Raj. So Josh Allen, Devontae, Mark Andrews, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Kyle Pitts. Here we fucking go again with Jordan goddamn Love. Like Jordan
in
Love
the 7th round at that.
Yeah, Jordan Love at the 7th round. That's just weird.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people have him as that, like, kind of like 15, 16, and I feel like there's a little bit, in my opinion, and for what I've seen in some of the drafts that I've done for basketball, there's kind of like a drop. Like, usually it's a little bit of space from like Love and the next guy, depending on the league.
Taco's just used to leagues where tight ends are just streaming options.
No, I'm not saying that, but like Raj is like 5 tight ends, and Dan is like 4 tight ends. We only start 1 tight end. It's not like it's premium either. So I was a little shocked at that. I got 2. I just didn't think that many would go off. I'd rather have wide receiver shots there. That's just me.
I got 3, but no, because I don't want anyone else to be able to have something else that they can just move in and out. So like, as much as I'm also thinking defensively as well. So like, I'd much rather you just start taking those receiver shots and those shots on players that I know that aren't going to be profitable, that I know that are going to probably be dropped later in the season. I know that you're going to be asking, hey, I'm sitting back and I'm looking at things. I could actually use, a better tight end. So that's where.
See, for me personally, I believe in my late draft snipes. I think that I think that's when my bread gets buttered, especially in deep leagues. So again, I mean, we'll go over my team when we get to it.
Exactly. Tight end flex with top guys. He's like, I got 3. Exactly, Mike. Exactly.
Yeah, but like 4 or 5, 2 guys with 4. Again, I'm all I said is it surprised me. I'm not saying that anything other than that.
Rogers' receiving core is okay.
Well, he's playing tight ends in flex.
The quarterback room outside of Josh Allen, I don't think that is enough is going to get done in that position. I could see him. I could see Raj trying to get a QB too. I could see him really trying to get a QB too, especially when shit starts to go downhill for Green Bay. Dalton Kincaid is interesting, just because I really feel like that this is. I know that people are going to be like, "Oh well, you didn't fucking give Kyle Pitts this benefit of the doubt." I think that Dalton Kincaid, if any tight end out of the rookies in these past couple of years, has the ability to give us that Jeremy Shockey-esque type season, it can be Kincaid.
I love the way they're using him.
Only because of the way that they're using him.
Yeah. This is what preseason matters to me. Like, what formations are they kind of using? What kind of ways are they putting? Now, it's not gospel because we know that sometimes they're just trying things, but it could be a good inkling, especially as we get later in preseason, of some of the things that they could be doing. And from my perspective, I love Kincaid, especially around there. He could definitely have a good return on investment. He's a guy that I actually was hoping to get around the time that he got him. I was hoping to double up, like get Dulcich and then
get that double up.
Yeah.
The running back room. The running back room is fairly strong. I can see a lot of trades coming from Raj's team. I can see Raj having to use a little bit of a silver tongue and kind of keep himself afloat.
I mean, he has tight ends though.
The homie Jordan's team. My God, this game is fucking 28-26. That is way too high scoring for a
I just saw that the Commanders just ran it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, this is 28-26. Yeah, 28-26. Oh
no, he threw it.
It's our ball down too. Sam Howell, 19.
I'm probably do it during the season, bro. I'm gonna have to like put the shit on my phone and put my phone like right underneath.
Damn, that motherfucker threw for 188 yards.
Yeah, actually, this is not that bad. I might flip my iPad out.
But no, getting back, getting kind of back into breaking down these teams. The homie Squeedo, man, the homie Jordan. Big shout to Jordan Lander, man. We're gonna be at his crib this Sunday for the Colorado Springs Invitational Draft. It's gonna be lit. The homie's gonna be cooking and barbecuing. Pulls out Lamar. I just love this quarterback room. Like, I just want to first just look like just taking a look at the quarterback room. He gets his three: Pickett, Goff, Lamar. I love those three. Not only that, but this right here, the fact we all fucked up that we let this happen.
But bro,
you let that happen.
You forgetting the Jared Goff St. Brown stack.
Yep, and he has Goff and St. Brown. Then he has Lamar,
Zay Flowers and Jackson.
This is very much a tell me you play fantasy football with Robbie without telling.
You got Pollard too.
He did. This is a damn good lineup.
It's a great lineup.
These running backs all stable enough to where they can go out there and do something. Yeah, he had a fucking killer draft. Like, I'm just gonna trade with Jordan just for the simple fact of trying to make his team weaker, because I can't let him just walk around like walk.
Holy shit! These Ravens just keep on gashing them,
bro. It's because they want to keep that record, bro, and that's why I'm like this is way too scoring for a preseason game. Like, get our guys off the field. Fuck this. I don't want to win this game. But it's just a pride
basic run.
It's a pride thing, bro.
Maybe, but listen, you got to win some chips, bro.
SC Express's lineup, I kind of talked about this. I just if I'm gonna wait on quarterback, I love this start. And I'm not as scared as having Brock Purdy as my QB2, just because Shanahan's your coach. As like if you had to rock out with Jordan Love.
I can't fucking believe the arrogance that you're spitting right now. That is ridiculous.
When's the last time that Shanahan gave you shit as a quarterback? When's the last time that he produced some shit? Trey Lance barely played underneath. Trey Lance didn't even play in his offense really, so can't count that.
Listen, he's an amazing coach. I give you that, but we'll see. We'll see. I love his running back room though. Like it's fucking elite, and it's deep.
His running backs are deep, which is good because he can utilize those as trade pieces.
And he has Hawkinson at tight end as well. So he has Jefferson at wide receiver. So he does have the most elite wide receiver to go with his running back room. And
he has all of the weapons. It's just he's gonna have to trade for either a second or a third QB, and we'll see how that works out. I could see Jeff getting ready to make some moves.
But I'll say this, in this kind of tiered PPR league, you can get away with maybe not having a second quarterback if you hit on a lot of wide receivers. But you gotta hit. They all gotta hit. Because some of these wide receivers were scoring as much as some of these QB2s.
Yeah, I mean, well, with this format especially, I love. Let's see here. Well, this team is all right. So John's team. John starts off and just gets Joe Burrow just to make sure that I can't get him. But let's face it, he wasn't gonna. You're picking at 12. You're not ending up with Joe Burrow anyways. It's just not going to be a thing. So he takes Joe Burrow, texts me right away, says, "Hey, making sure that you can't even get him." Like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm picking from the 12 hole. I have a completely different plan anyways. I love this pick here of Eckler. I think Eckler could still be profitable. We already know how I feel about Dak. This is way too high for George Kittle.
Third and the second, though.
This is way too high for George Kittle. This is way too high for George Kittle.
I agree. I'd rather Hawkinson at that price. And Hawkinson went off the board a round later.
This is not a typical J Batch draft. None of this is his typical draft. This one was super weird. These receivers here, you have to have a lot of faith. Addison's got to be a guy. Gabe Davis got to be a guy. Christian Kirk, you're hoping that really can't impact him too hard. You're hoping that Baker can still keep Godwin,
for a minute on Kirk. I mean, the interesting thing was that we were seeing Zay Jones and Ridley playing in 2 wide receiver sets, and Kirk was mainly playing only in 3 wide receiver sets. So I think that definitely has to change a little bit of your perspective of, one, Zay Jones might be better than people think, as people are really downplaying Zay Jones, and 2, Kirk's expectations might be tempered if he's only playing in the slot.
Yeah, I kind of worry there. With the guy, when you're hoping that Baker doesn't throw him into a fucking death trap.
I mean, Godwin in the 6, I could get down on that. You know what I mean? He's a consistently good guy.
It don't matter. It don't matter where you get Godwin. You're praying that his quarterback does not throw him into a fucking death trap.
Yes, I agree with you. But at this point in the draft, with everything around him, his talent, I think, is enough to because he's gonna have to throw the ball some. And Godwin is just that quick outlet guy. In PPR, the catches will add up. He might have 8 catches for 85 yards and just be okay.
So where fantasy meets reality, I don't want my wide receiver 1 on a team to where every fucking pass I'm sitting back because
who would you take at that point? Because you've already at the mix-in pick, you should have probably went wide receiver.
I think at that point, that's where I can.
I mean, truthfully, we both probably wouldn't went wide receiver over Kittle. But at that point, what wide receiver would you have really taken? It's kind of like a weird place, unless you really liked, Allen, Judy. I mean, I would have taken one of those guys, Allen, Judy, McLaurin, but
excuse me, the Godwin situation is tough. I mean, because it's like, well, fuck. Like, I feel like at that point, you're knowing that you need a receiver one.
Like once you decided to go Kittle and Mixon, I think Godwin at that point, if you're going now wide receiver one, has probably some, because you're going to be looking at a lot of negative game scripts more than likely. You're looking at a lot of short yardage dump offs, a lot of quick plays. Like, he'll probably be like Landry, and Landry was serviceable with Baker. And if another quarterback comes in, I mean, you feel like Godwin more than likely will be the beneficiary of some stuff. It makes you really scared. Like, I am scared from Mike Evans, but that's a different discussion.
I'm scared for Tampa's receiver core period. Mingo, be on the lookout for the Mingo short that I have coming out tomorrow. I'll kind of explain some of my feelings behind that. I'm just loving this Dalvin Cook more and more. This pick for anyone in any league, just because now he has a landing spot, and we know that the landing spot that he's at, Aaron Rodgers loves veterans. Because he's old himself, so old guys stick
together. And he's made two running backs work where they both were top 24 guys.
Yeah. The penny pick, just John loves Rashad Penny. Rice, hopefully he can hang on to the ball.
I'm liking that pick.
I'm thinking that I'm liking the I'm liking Ross over Rice as of lately. I'm liking Justin Ross over Rice lately.
Really?
Mostert, just again, good late round flyer. Got to have something to stack up with Burrow. You don't want Burrow out there on your fantasy team naked. There's a lot of different ways that you can do that, whether it's Tyler Boyd, Higgins. If you get lucky, you can end up with the Chase Burrow, but that's really going to work for you in single QBs, though. Irv Smith, great late round piece to be able to throw that together. I'm really liking Alec Pierce. I think that Alec Pierce could be the receiver to roster for real in Indianapolis. Should anything happen to Michael Pittman, Pierce is definitely going to be the two. I will call you in a bit, woman. Isaiah Hodgins, another deep late pick. Hull, Prince, not really too high on those two.
Well, Hull, I mean, when you think about what just happened, actually just had his value just skyrocket. Because what if Taylor actually does get
Taylor? I don't think that. So,
it's an interesting situation for him.
Happy birthday to J Love. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the boys and girls. What to do, dilly. Cheers to that, man. J Love. Okay. So first, I love the Justin Herbert fantasy pick. Herbert, Burrow, my two favorite fantasy QBs this year. I have the most exposure to both of them, along with Sam Howell. Huge on these guys in the first round right here, Burrow and Herbert. If you can get one or the other, you get one or the other. I like this receiver go here. I like this running back go here. This is a very classic kind of run boy strategy, not necessarily in super flex, but we do this a lot, and you'll see this a lot in single QB, where you'll see Robbie go the same position back to back. And I usually do this when I choose to go hero RB, and I think that that's always a good strategy. Having the next 4 picks that he has there. Honestly, the next fucking 6 picks are all solid plays. What do you think?
Yeah, no, he definitely has a solid team.
Yeah, Evan Ingram, Higbee, great tight ends. Kyler Murray, you're just hoping that again he can come back and be something. But Jordan is a Cardinals fan, so of course, you gotta get a little bit of homerisms in there. Garoppolo representing the Vegas Raiders. No Raiders pair ups, no stacks here, but we do have that Rondale Moore, Kyler Murray stack. I'm out on Rondale. How about you?
Well, I mean, it's a negative game script kind of team. He could feasibly be the 3 right now. I think that their second round pick from the draft is actually playing in 2 receiver sets. So that's something that is worth noting and kind of worth watching. I don't love him, but with the pairing and his talent and the place he was taken, really can't argue.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, I'm out on Rondell Moore, personally. But hey,
I would have
I
like
respect
Rice
it.
over him. Like
Yeah, I would have taken Rice over Moore. I would have taken
I would have
Odell
like
over
Zay
Moore.
Jones. That's what I was saying
Uh,
about Zay Jones. Like we went,
yeah,
1 round later.
yeah. There's a lot that I would have taken over Moore. Honestly, Boyd would have been over Moore. Like if I needed a wide receiver 3, Justin Ross would have been over Moore. Gallup would have been over Moore. Mechie, Shakir, yeah, Moore's way down my list. But DJ Chark, nice little quick flyer. Grabs Brown out of Cincinnati. Should anything Mixon right now is a free man, but how long that lasts? Well, we'll wait and see. Jelani Woods, love that late round tight end pick. I actually have an Anthony Richardson, Jelani Woods stack in St. Pat's League. That's because Michael Wilson is twice the size of Rondell. Yeah, Michael Wilson is really going to blow up on that Cardinals offense. Terrence Marshall, the lost fucking cause. Cordell Patterson, Isaiah Spiller to wrap up that draft. Those are 2 great picks to end the draft. Those are great picks to end the draft. Payne did good here. McCaffrey, Watson. I don't like the Deshaun Watson pick. All of his skill positions, pretty much all of Payne's skill positions are in line here. I feel like it's that quarterback that's super just meek.
And he went deep running back. But I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, Payne has a lot of kind of what it felt like Raj had going on with that whole like kind of weight thing or like load up. SC kind of did sort of the same thing that Payne did. I find that kind of interesting. I'll let you explain your team.
Huh. I mean, for me, actually, I'd rather hear your since you've been going through. It'd actually be interesting.
Mike, definitely a total Payne draft. What's good? Notorious, the notorious nerd. What's good, bro?
I'll say this though, Payne did snipe me a couple times between Judy, Waller. I was getting like, I want to
what I'll say,
I didn't take him.
I like your draft. I know how you feel about Madison. Again, hopefully he's gonna, before those other guys kind of rear their ugly heads, he's gonna win, at least that first 6 weeks for you, before he starts getting banged up and shit. Love the Charbonnet pick. I've been loving this Gainwell pick a lot more and more and more. Especially just because of how that Philadelphia backfield is built and how it's shaping up. I found myself today thinking, you know what? So what if they fucking brought in Rashad Penny, bro? They kept Kenny Gainwell. And they weren't using Gainwell a whole lot, but maybe that's because that was for a reason.
Gainwell in third down situations and goal line. And then if you look at what they did in the Super Bowl, they started up his usage. And that was the trend line that started coming into this year. And then it looks like he's been running with the ones in camps. It's getting a little bit crazy with Gainwell.
Yeah, Gainwell's an interesting grab there. I think that in order to complement DeAndre Swift, what we learned about DeAndre Swift, even from his time in Detroit, he needs a back to complement him and to take off that extra workload. And I think that realistically, it's going to be more of a Gainwell task to do than it is going to be a Rashad Penny task to do. So I do like that pick. I am loving this Nico Collins pick, just because I'm not super high on Stroud at this moment. It's not that I'm not high on Stroud. I'm not high on the Houston Texans. quite yet. I know that we are fully immersed in the D'Amico Ryans era, and I love being in the D'Amico Ryans era. Give me a little bit more. I like this. I would love this if it was just the Stroud pick independently, if this was a dynasty league. But excuse me, with this being,
I would just have one comment on that. Is at the ADP value, I like them. Like, you know, there was the 14th for Collins and 10th for Stroud.
Yeah.
So that's where kind of it comes up for Houston. Like at their ADP, I think sometimes they're worth the flyer because it's a wild shot, but volume could be interesting.
No, absolutely. You know, but I mean, again, I feel like if you're going to be drafting Stroud and you're going to be running Stroud, then you best not be doing so naked. You need to have Collins. You need to have Dalton Schultz. You know, you need to be looking at grabbing some piece of that offense, because if you're going to have that much conviction in him, then you need to be backing that the fuck up. You know, you need to be maximizing the output, because even if he does undersell your expectations, at least when you're putting him in there and when you are sliding him into the lineups, obviously you're not going to slide him in there week 1 over Wilson or Stafford just because there's not data.
I got that cup hookup with Stafford.
Yeah, because there's not that the data to prove putting in Stroud over those guys. But when you do choose to put him in, at least, you know, when you choose to take that risk, let's say you're like, you know what, man, I'm 5-0 so far. Let's try. Stroud's been putting up the same amount of points as, you know, my other quarterbacks. Nico Collins hasn't been too far. You know, my wide receiver 3. You know what? Let me run this. Let me run this stack and see what happens. You know, at least you're already set there. With that, you are right though. You do have that cup Stafford stack. I feel like I didn't really need to talk about that too much, just because
I backdoor that shit.
Yeah, they've been looking at it. Well, that's the only way that you can really get that. Like, that's the only way that you're really gonna be able to do that.
Because I let Stafford fall, and I was just like, when I saw Howell go, and then that was the kind of like my point of designation. I was like, I don't really like any of the other guys that much there, but because I have Cup, I felt like it elevated me to a point where I didn't want to wait. I wanted to grab my second guy there.
You know, it's always been my indicator of when to go get Howell. It's whenever Love or Pickett go. Whenever one of those two go, that's when I know I need it. That's when I know I need. That's when I know there's no more time to wait. And even the third outlier to that is if Purdy goes, then that's when I know I was like, okay, I need to pull the trigger now.
I'm praying for a Stafford rebound. That's why I kind of like I was comfortable once I went like with Chase and Cup. Then I kind of was comfortable at the point where I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go balls to the walls. I wanted Daniel Jones, but, you know, we can talk about that later.
I'm glad, nerd. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Aiden said, yo, this game is crazy. 31 seconds left in that game. Here, let me. Wow, what in the world? Washington? Is Washington about to win this bitch?
Maybe.
Wow, Sam Cosme did say it. I don't care. It's preseason.
Yeah, do you go Hail Mary and get the practice, or do you go?
Oh my gosh, bro! Everyone's all right. Hang on. All of my followers, like, or not even my followers, like all my brothers, all my cousins, all of y'all fucking. It is preseason football. Stop it. Like, I get that it's my team. Stop it, guys. It's preseason. Like does Mr. Sly does have the leg, bro. Got into the Bourbon Bowl. I know I need to send in my donation and shit. I'm in as well. I got to get that done. You said I'm ahead. Do you want to know? You said I'm ahead. Like, are you ahead to like the point like the game already
There's only 22 seconds left, so it can't be that far ahead.
My thing is that fucking like if you see that I'm on air, like don't text my like come into my YouTube chat, like boost my views, like be supportive. Like if you see that I'm on air and if you have my personal number and like if you're like one of my cousins or something, where the fuck do you think you're supposed to be? With everyone else that's here in the chat. That's all I've said too. Is about it's about finding depth. Exactly. Like it's yeah. I mean, if we win, cool. Like that's cool. Hey, Ravens, your record ended, but I don't think that even the Ravens give a fuck about their preseason record. And if you're a Ravens fan and you care about your preseason record, you're weird. You're
You know
weird.
what's funny though? Didn't the Commanders though say that they were going to win the game or some shit like that? Or one of the
Sam Cosmi did. Sam Cosmi did say that. Sam Cosmi did say that we were going to win. But he was saying it more so from a pit. It's been a very emotional practice between the two sides. Like, there's been a lot of fighting. There's been a lot of yeah. So I mean, for Sam Cosmi to come out and be like I don't care. Like it doesn't matter. It's going to end tonight. Like this morning he was like it doesn't matter. It's ending tonight. You're just saying that because of how much emotion's been built up. You don't know what the fuck is going to happen. You can't predict the outcome. But no, kind of getting back into your team, man. I love Dulcich. I love the Sky Moore pick. Here's the thing with the Chiefs offense. I don't give a fuck who it is. You're taking a shot. You're drafting. You know, you're grabbing a Chiefs player. Like I don't really think that I should have to put that out there. I don't think that I should have to put that as a disclaimer. Let's see what else you're working with here, bro. I know you got some other hot shit here. The Chardonnay pick is just, Chardonnay, sweet wine. I love the Zamir White, Van Jefferson. He's fucking Van Jefferson, dog. I'm not.
But it was a stack with Stafford. That was kind of my also thought. I was like,
I know, but
he's the wide receiver too in case Cup goes down. So I got a backup there. He's stacked.
But I'm still not gonna yeah. But no, good. I know that, and that's good thinking. That is good thinking. That's solid strategy. I can agree with that. I'm not gonna hype up
16th round.
But we've done so much Van Jefferson content especially because paying. Gus Bus, Paris Campbell, Tillman, nice and easy.
Don't forget about Luke Musgrave, baby. That's gonna be my tight end one.
I really like Luke Musgrave. If there's one part of the Packers offense that I am investing in, it is Luke Musgrave. It is Luke Musgrave.
I think I did pretty good in this. And I wanted Puka Nuka, and these motherfuckers took him on me. I was so pissed. I was like, I was gonna get Jefferson and then work my way back and get Puka Nuka later. I was trying to get Dell. I couldn't get him later. I wanted Dell over Jefferson, but he got gone.
St. Pat's lineup. St. Pat did hang on. St. Pat did the tight end early thing here with Travis Kelce. I feel like when you do grab a Travis Kelce that in the first round, that does allow you to do exactly what he did here and not have to really worry about that position for a long time. This Tyreek Hill Tua stack, beautiful. I love that shit. Especially then when you have Daniel Jones, Jalen Hyatt. I love that. The running backs, getting some good level twos here. Pierce, Akers, Gibson, Harris, Algier. Not just not investing too heavy in a position that's going to get banged up, that's going to get hurt. All those guys aren't fucking going down for you. And if they're all not going down at the same time, and all those guys are going to get some playing time. All those guys are going to get some burn. That's a solid play right there. Kind of, just getting yourself some stable guys. Pierce being the one on his team, Akers being the one on his team. Gibson splitting between him and Robinson. I like everything that he did there at running back. Receivers, I'm just not a Treylon Burks fan, but I find myself being more of a Burks fan with D-Hop on the roster. So don't be shocked if Burks starts providing some type of return on investment this year, unlike of what you got last year. I don't think that you're going to get that same thing out of Treylon Burks this year just because D-Hop is there to open him up for Burks to be drafted as a rookie. Yeah, for Burks to be drafted as a rookie last year and kind of have all the weight of the world thrusted on his shoulders in that offense with so many just different new things and new questions. As a receiver, it's very hard to be asked to come in and be the leader and kind of like be the guy. Now that weight is taken off his shoulders, and him and D-Hop seem to be getting along great. Shout out to the homie Teron Davenport, hooking me up with all of my inside Tennessee Titans analytics. My good friend over on Facebook, and we just Teron Davenport played for the Titans. Like, what the fuck y'all expect? This Bryce Young, Adam Thielen stack. Fuck, I almost got it. This Bryce Young, Adam Thielen stack. Like, how can we hate on that, especially out of as many times I've talked about the way that Carolina is going to take these veterans, put them around Young to really make Young profitable. We go, let's see here. I already talked about Damian Harris. Robert Woods, again, just, another random Houston dart throw. I feel like Houston picks are just really good dart throws this year. I think they're great dart throws. Just don't invest too heavy on them. That's where I caution. Just because we don't have enough. Taysom Hill's a super fucking random pick at tight end. He's going to end up on the waiver wire in this league. I promise you. I don't think that anyone's ever rostered Taysom Hill for a whole fucking season in the history of fantasy football. And the Commanders win. Joey Sly, who did beat out Badgley for the job. I honestly was shocked. I was like, oh shit, you beat out Michael Badgley. Badgley been at it for a hot minute. Good shit, Joey Sly strong, baby. R.I.P. AJ. Fuck cancer. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit, Joey. Yes, hail. All right, enough of the preseason talk. I love this Deuce Vaughn pick. If you ask me who's the two in that Dallas backfield, it's Deuce Vaughn. It's Deuce Vaughn. Curtis Samuel, good late round flyer to close out the draft. Zach Ertz, you're getting a number one tight end on his offense. It's an Arizona offense, though. But that's still a damn good pick. That's a perfect way to close out a draft. If you're closing out your draft with Zach Ertz as your last pick, you gotta feel damn good about your last pick. Hell yes, like good shit, Commanders. Fuck your Ravens flock. Let's see. Let's take a look at Jeff's team. I like this. I like what he does here with AJ Brown, T. Higgins. We already know I'm super high on those guys. I have a lot of AJ Brown exposure. I have a lot of T. Higgins exposure. I actually have both of them in my SFB. I have both of them in plenty of leagues, except I've picked from around here usually. Let's see here. We got Gibbs, White, Dillon. This is definitely a Jeff draft. Look at the running backs. Gibbs, Rashad White, AJ Dillon, Shane. Jeff being a dynasty analyst, he went super dynasty on his running backs.
Although I'll say this, I love Gibbs in PPR leagues because of the way they're using him in pass catching work. I just would never take him over Ramondre Stevenson.
Okay.
Although Ramondre Stevenson, I think
I'm taking.
He is athletic. So actually, that's an
Detroit drafted this guy. Detroit drafted this guy as high as they did.
That's interesting to think about. If they use him as a wide receiver, he actually might be a steal.
I feel like Gibbs is definitely a steal. I feel like Gibbs, you should be, if you're willing to sit back and tell me I'm drafting Bijan like early.
Oh, I agree.
You should be drafting.
I have a good exposure to Gibbs in basketball.
Yeah, I feel like you're taking Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up. For
his value is only going to keep going up the more they use him like this.
Debo, we're huge Debo fans. We're huge Debo and AJ fans. They're Run Boys guys. Derek Carr, just the way that this Saints offense looks like it's about to operate and it's about to click. It's about to be on some different shit. I'm really high on these Saints pieces. What's up? Oh, I thought you were about to say something. Pat Fry, Mike Mayer, Trey McBride, not bad tight ends. McBride again. I mean, you're kind of you're getting that Arizona offense. McBride is the favorite in that tight end room at this moment. So I mean, we'll see how that works. A late Kyle Trask grab. Of course, this man grabs Tank Dell. When does Jeff not have Tank Dell? Mention Tank Dell. I'm a Tank Dell truther, but Jeff is a bigger Tank Dell truther than I am. This Donovan Peoples-Jones pick is okay. Mooney, Dubs.
I would have known that I would have taken him over White.
This lineup's okay. I'll say that this lineup is super young for redraft. And that worries me. Like you in redraft, it's okay to be young at the running back position. I get worried when you get
young anywhere. Maybe
when you get young everywhere. When you get young everywhere, a lot.
The two hardest spots to be young at is tight end and quarterback.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't because they take the most knowledge to play. And then finally getting into my lineup. I actually liked my lineup. I was on the back end of the draft, so I had to try and get the players that I wanted, just for the simple fact that I couldn't risk leaving them out there for anyone else to grab, knowing that I'm not picking forever. And when you're picking from the 12 spot, and if there's something out there that you really want, that's the spot where you really have to kind of, I feel like, go by the whole go get your guy philosophy. Just because of how long you have to wait. So I start off with Trevor Lawrence, my very, very minimum exposure to Trevor Lawrence, but that automatically went that we had to go Calvin Ridley. We could have waited to try and go get Christian Kirk. I just didn't see a universe in my Doctor Strange, type of esqueness. I didn't see a universe where I was going to be able to get the backdoor it with the Christian Kirk or to get the Christian Kirk late. I knew that I wasn't going to get Christian Kirk late. I knew that Kirk was going to be a guy that other guys were going to be looking out for, especially because at the time that we started this draft, a lot of analysts were higher on Kirk than they were on Ridley at the time. We just did this like a fucking week and a half ago. That's how quick data changes in this shit. So yeah, I go Lawrence. I mainly just grabbed Diggs to make sure that he could never by any means make it back to this Allen person. And I just didn't want him to end up to someone that would have been willing to trade him to the Allen user. So that was just mainly me getting, a receiver, getting a top guy still there, but then also playing some fantasy defense. I need to secure myself on my second quarterback. I need to do so early because let's fucking face it, I'm not going to get that opportunity later on. So we go ahead. We've talked about how high I am on the Minnesota offense with them being a top 5 scoring offense. We're investing in that. There's nothing wrong with having any pieces of a top scoring offense. Like I mentioned, that Ridley Lawrence stack, we knew that was going to be there for us eventually. DeAndre Hopkins. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, I can backdoor this with Tannehill should Sam Howell not be there. Sam Howell ended up still being there. I thought that as soon as Love went, I was like, fuck, I'm done. But because Love went, kind of what I said, once I see this happen, I don't want to wait for this here to happen with Kenny Pickett or be stuck between that whole Pickett and Powell's deciding factor. I went ahead and I grabbed Howell. Obviously, I grabbed Miles Sanders because I'm infatuated with that area down on with running backs. But I grabbed Sam Howell. I know, fuck, Terry McLaurin's already gone. I need to pair it with Jahan Dotson. We go ahead, we pair it with Jahan Dotson. We let the draft continue. I guess I kind of ended up going a little too heavy on Tennessee, and maybe this is where I should have passed on the Sam Howell Dotson stack and just waited on Tannehill. But guys, look at something fascinating here. Look at just how much a little bit later that Tannehill goes. There was no guarantee that I could have waited on that. Either way, if I grabbed Tannehill, I was going to reach. And at this point, we didn't know that we were going to grab Chig. So we didn't know that the triple stack was even going to be possible. Brian Robinson, we still end up with the triple stack, those. Okay, so we're good to go there. In Airbnb, we trust. We're going to trust that. Kadarius Toney, we're grabbing Kansas City pieces. Tank Bigsby, I love Tank Bigsby. We end up still getting something to pair with Kirk Cousins up here, and be it that KJ Osborne, Dawson Knox.
I love KJ Osborne that late. I was so in on him if he was coming back my way.
I had to do it, man. You guys know I love KJ Osborne. Fort Knox, not being able to get where Dalton Kincaid go. Not being able to get Kincaid. I thought that Kincaid could have possibly made it back to me, but then as you see, Raj, SC Express, Pang, and Jeff all went on a tight end tear in the 13th round. So it left me a 14th round. I'll go ahead and I'll grab Knox. Zeke, I grabbed Zeke purely just because we found out that he was a Patriot. I got the news, like we all got the news, and then I was like, well, that made that easy. Otherwise, I don't think that Zeke would have if Zeke didn't sign to the Patriots at least like to like one more extra day. I think that Zeke ends up probably an extra round down. Like straight up. Zeke only ended up being drafted there, I think, and not necessarily it was a me thing, like a me being there. I think that irregardless of who would have been there, just because of the news dropping, the hype, and I think that's an impulse one. And I'm okay with that. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, we're just grabbing more Chiefs pieces. Ty Chandler, because we're bought in on Minnesota, we're bought in on Ty Chandler. Darius Slayton, I feel like is still going to have a role in that offense. I feel like that there is a real connection between him and Daniel Jones. And until it can be that can be truly refuted, I'm willing to ride with that. Logan Thomas, just a late round fucking pick, and then Josh Kelly, again, late round pick. And that wraps up.
There's one last thing that we got to go over before you do that. Week 1 matchup. There's only one matchup you need to go over. Your matchup for week 1.
Is it me versus you? The week 1 matchup. I mean, well, I haven't set that lineup or anything. I haven't even tinkered with it. Let's see here. See, Taco wants me to show you guys a lineup that I haven't even fucked with. Like, bro, I have a whole player that's not even projected in this starting lineup. Zeke is still projected for 0.
You're right. So let.
So wait, okay, so here I'll edit the lineup, and then
with the best shot. Far away.
Let's see here.
Bro, I hope Jamar Chase has like a big game.
Yo, that's not right.
So you could just feel it.
Okay. Yo, I thought that this shit said 55% of people were starting Tank Bigsby week 1. I was like, you're all fucking drunk.
I mean, it depends on what you're fucking drafting. When RB0 goes wrong.
No, I mean, I don't think that anyone would realistically.
Depends on how many teams, how many players.
Excuse me.
It's gonna be an interesting week, Robbie.
Yeah, it is.
I know you're gonna pull it out, but We'll have fun along the way.
Hang on. Now I gotta reshare this. Present. I gotta fucking set these settings. Yeah, the fact that I faced you week 1 is ironic. I hadn't even looked at who I faced week 1.
Neither did I. I looked once I noticed like the draft was done. I was like, oh, let me see what the week 1 stuff is. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's great.
Okay, so all I did was just move Zeke into my flex. So Taco's projected to beat me, but we already know how week 1
projections don't mean shit.
Projections don't mean shit. Every time someone has came on this show and literally goes, I face you in week 1. I'm gonna beat you. I'm projected. I'm like, you do know projections don't mean shit. Like, well, a machine makes the projections, and the machine's smarter than you. Da, da, da. I'm like, if a machine was smarter than me, then why the fuck is there a such thing as a fantasy professional?
Exactly. Like, I would love to go on that show.
But yeah, Taco is we're gonna go ahead and get ready to put a ball on this. But Taco is projected 57% over 43% to face me week 1. The lineups are interesting. Really, honestly, when it comes down to it, things are going to be matchup dependent. I mean, Lawrence has to play Indy. Like, first off, everyone has to come out and just do their fucking jobs. Okay, like everyone has to come out and do their jobs. For all we know, like this man has Jamar Chase. Like Jamar Chase is my favorite receiver of all time. Okay, not all time. Randy Moss is my favorite receiver of all time.
I'll trade him to you.
I mean, you better make that shit fucking worth it.
He's the best receiver in the NFL.
I like Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the NFL. Correct.
I mean, it's debatable. The amount of talent that Jamar Chase has is undeniable.
It's not debatable.
Jamar Chase
the stats are literally like there's.
I mean, when you have a quarter, I mean, he has such a better quarterback though.
It's not the same.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Anyways, I mean, look at this thing. He's like, but like no, like I mean, but for all we know, Jamar Chase could, like catch like 2 passes like week 1. Like I hope not, because I have him on a couple of teams, but like we don't know that. Like we don't. So don't like we'll end tonight's broadcast with don't go into looking at like your week 1 match. Like when you get done with your draft at the end of this week or next week, don't just thinking that that's the end. Your draft is not your seat. You didn't win your season just because you drafted this team. And it's like, I have all these good players. I have seen people have fucking Madden builds and just everyone get hurt.
You know what your draft is? It's like when you go to college and you pick your classes and you're like, I was able to register for this class. I got into this class. This class closed before I wanted, but I got into this class. All you did is you got your schedule for the year. That's all that happened. Now you know what guys are going to be playing when. You know who you're going to be watching. You know who your instructor is. And you can see which classes you pass and fail because it's just a pass-fail.
Exactly. So, I mean, make sure you guys keep that in mind. Keep a level head heading into your drafts this weekend.
I got one hot take to end it on.
Hell yeah! What's up? And then I'm on my own.
I think Smith from the Eagles is going to be the better fantasy football receiver from that team over AJB this season.
I mean,
I just have this gut feeling. I've been skewing and altering my strategies. I've been pulling back on AJB a little bit in hopes of trying to snag Smith a little bit later. In most cases, I find myself taking like St. Brown and like Garrett Wilson over him.
That's not a hot take. Like there's a lot of people that have done that. That's how I've ended up with.
I've got some people call me crazy.
No. I've heard that take so much. My God, I've heard that fucking take so much. Bo.
But it makes me afraid of the AJB price. So I do like I have less shares of him than I'd want because I'm forecasting that into my drafting, saying like I'd rather take one of these other guys who doesn't have that split in volume that AJB might have, like St. Brown. Like who's really behind him? We're expecting this rookie gift
No,
to
yeah.
really be, same thing with Wilson. Like, Corey Davis might get cut. Like more than likely they're gonna play Brees Hall, I think, as a wide receiver a little bit more too than we originally thought.
Well, he said, I'm not clipping that, Taco. That's not hot. Yeah, no, that wasn't a hot take. Like I know like there's like 5 other fucking analysts that like have said this shit like all off season.
All right,
that I can think of off the top of my head.
The cooking shit out. But yeah, well, how about that, Garrett Wilson? And
no, I can respect that take though. I can respect that take, and I can kind of get behind that.
Who's someone that's really starting to make interest for me? Chris Olave. Like the more and more,
he should have been had your interest. He should have been had your interest. If they come from Ohio State, they should have your interest.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when you look at where his ADP is, like he's going right in that Smith Higgins, at least in best ball, he's going in that range. And I think I take him. I used to take Higgins over him. Now I'm taking him over Higgins. He's definitely clearly over. Like
you have to think about. So there are people out there that aren't going to look at the things that Saints team has done. There are people out there that are going to only view it as a Saints. You have people that are only going to view it as, well, it's Derek Carr back there. They're not going to view it as, hey, these pieces of the puzzle just so may happen to all go together. People don't look at that. There's nothing wrong with that. Now is the time to where you need to really be deciding who you're willing to take your shots on and take your chances are. Now's really the time to where you decide, okay, if this player's available, then I am following ADP. If this player's not available and I like this other person a little bit more than these other players that are available on ADP, then I'm going to go and I'm going to get my guy. And now is when the time that you really kind of sit down and you do that due diligence. Draft weekend is coming. These are 2 big draft weekends back to back. The amount of, just everybody
that gets on the line.
Yeah, the amount of, I'm going to try and find some time this week. I'm going to try and go over some DraftKings week 1 totals for you guys. I know that I need to get that done because I know a lot of people have been asking me about that lately. Really what I'm going to start doing is whatever content that you guys are really asking about and just harping for and wanting, that's what I'm going to just kind of start going live and doing. Aiden said he wanted me to kind of go over some expert leagues and some expert drafts. I felt that us going over the Polys playoff that is currently underway, then just talking about the Rum Boys staff league draft, that was a good start for us. We didn't have time to get into too many others. I didn't want us to be on this long, but it's good for you guys. It's good. It's good for you guys. And hell, the Commanders won. The Ravens in their preseason streak, and they didn't even have to travel far to do so, like 45 minutes. But other than that, we greatly appreciate you guys. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rum Boys and girls, what it do. Dilly. We love and appreciate you. Taco, go fucking get some rest. We both have work in the morning, damn it. Mm-hmm. And I know I got to call my fucking girlfriend.